Hey guys, welcome back to the True Rock Podcast. My name is Zach,
My name's Hayden.
and today we're going to go through the book of James, chapter 5.
Cinco. Right.
6. 7, 8, 9, 10.
James Cinco. But before we get into that,
Oh gosh.
Zach has handled the questions recently and the ideas and the thoughts, and I figure why not take back up the baton, as we're running this race of a podcast and just it be my little marathon sprint for
I'm
today
sorry,
to ask the question.
did you just put me on a track? Is that what you just did?
Yeah.
Okay.
I passed the baton to you for the question for a lap, for 2 laps, and now it's back to me for this lap at least.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, it's a zombie apocalypse. All right. And most people in the world have been infected. Okay. And you have no clue what's going to happen. There's not a cure, right? So, what place in the world would you pick to go that you think you would have the best advantage to stay alive? And whatever this place is, right? Wherever this is at. What are 2 weapons that you would bring? And then what are 2 people you would bring?
2 people?
That are not infected. Could be anyone, could be the homies, could be whatever. So, a place in the world that you would go that would give you the most safety and advantage fighting these zombies. The 2 weapons you would use to fight them. And then the 2 people you would want to fight them with. Could be because they're your friends, could be because they're skilled in whatever they're skilled in, anything. Could be anyone.
Is your family infected or no?
If you pick 2 of them to fight with you, then they're not. But, I have no clue if they're infected or not.
It's a tough question because, the noble thing would be I'll pick my family.
Well, who? Your mom and your dad? You only get 2 people. So you're just going to let your brother die?
Okay,
Big Dogs, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Ansley, if you're watching this, I am so sorry. You're dead. Oh, wait, you're not dead. You're a zombie.
No, you have to make them, infected or something, man.
Huh?
You have to make them infected or something, make it a little bit easier of a question.
Well, but it's because you could pick them to be it doesn't mean they're infected. It just doesn't guarantee they're not. If you didn't pick me to come fight the zombies with you, that doesn't mean I'm infected. I'm just not in this where.
Well, you're obviously not going to be infected because you had to answer the question too.
That's true.
So,
if you didn't pick Troy or Gideon or something to come fight him with you, that doesn't have to mean that they're infected. It just means they're not the 2 people you pick to come to this wherever it is in the world to fight the zombies. Is all it would mean.
How long would I have to live for?
You got 6 months straight of decently consistent zombie attacks. And then by month 7, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. By month 7, they start to come out with a cure. And then 5 months. So in total a year. 6 months straight up attacks. Month 7, they start the process of a cure. By the time it hits a year, a cure has been found. But you got 6 straight months that there is no hope, no cure, and you have no idea, and you pick this place, you pick these 2 weapons, and you pick these 2 people, and you got to run it. Where's it at? What's the weapons? Who's the 2 people?
Yeah, so I would definitely be on an island.
Okay.
That there's, obviously nobody was inhabiting.
Yeah.
Or if there was, I'd pop 10 zombies real quick, it's whatever.
Only they'd have to try and swim to get you or hop on a boat to get you.
So I'm saying, I don't know zombies. In any zombie movie you've ever watched, I've never seen them with a car, so let alone a boat. And then swim if they're...
Not in the serious movies, at least.
Right.
Yeah.
And can they swim? I have no idea.
The way they walk, they should not... There's no way that thing can swim.
That's what I'm saying.
The way they don't walk, like this,
right.
There's no shot. That thing is, floating.
That's what I'm saying. So I would definitely go and be on an island somewhere.
Okay. That's valid. That's smart. A big one or a smaller island?
Well, I would have...
Because, if it's, being on, an island like Hawaii or something, there could be a ton of zombies there.
That's what I'm saying.
And they just not all be around you. But, if you're on a smaller island where you can, most likely see almost every corner of it from whatever point you're at, then you would know
Yeah, I mean, probably be a relatively smaller island that I know nobody's really messed with.
Yeah.
Now, are animals a big factor too? Or are they just dead too?
I mean, you would have to have some sort of food source. So
Fish. That's why you're on the island.
yeah, and you can fish, yes, but animals are not dead. So that's also plays part in the place you pick. Like you have to have some option for food.
Yeah, so I think the island, I mean, gives you a lot of fish availability. Water would be kind of weird because you would have to somehow, clean it.
Well, I mean, this is not going back in time. This is modern day. So you just get a little Brita and just dip the Brita in the ocean and just let it filter it. So like, I mean, it's not like we're like
Okay, I didn't know I
back
could bring
in
all that
time for
stuff.
this.
I didn't know I could bring all that stuff. I thought it was like, bam, apocalypse, except today I have to figure out a way to get off of.
Well, yeah, but like if the apocalypse hit today, like there'd be a few things you think of, and if you've already thought of water, you'd probably bring it
We'd be cooked if it hit today.
super duper cooked.
In the Ville, bro, we'd be fried.
Still charging me rent when I'm living on an island? What is this garbage? But
Anyways, no, so I would probably.
yeah, you can bring other things. I just figured that would get too involved with all the things you think about to bring. Like that'd take you forever to think about.
Yeah.
That's why I just wanted to specify the weapons and the people. But like, yes, you could bring a Brita, you could bring a bed, you could bring whatever. Like, you know.
Or also, I've thought about maybe like a big like container ship, and just sit out in the ocean for 6 months.
You'd have to have a lot of food supply.
Fish.
Yes. But like, is that all you're gonna eat for 6 months?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
And I guess the confusing thing would be there is like, how would you
Cook
have
it.
how?
Oh. That's what I'm saying. How would you cook it?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's like, how would you cook it? Because if you're on an island
You have fire.
and it's decent size, yeah, you have trees, you have wood, you have this stuff that you can make fires with. But if you're on a ship,
That's why I said.
unless you're gonna burn the boat down, like
That's why I said an island, because I was thinking about a ship or like a big cruise ship, but it's like, okay, well, you have gas on the stoves or whatever, and you have to.
I mean, but if you but think about this, if somehow it's just you and like these two other people on a cruise ship that has stoves that they normally cook for 1,000 people at a time, that would probably
Last a while.
last for 6 months for just 3 people. So it actually might work for like the stuff they already have on there. But yeah, I don't know. I think the island is probably a better option.
Yeah.
I mean, the ship one would keep you like
Away from
almost
zombies.
100% away from zombies, but you might just die because you run out of stuff and then you're cooked. Unless
Yeah.
there's like swimming zombies, then you're really cooked.
Yeah, but also too, I mean, like, think about refrigeration. I mean, they have to have refrigeration on the ship. Like, if you cut half of that and say like use half the refrigeration, or even a quarter, or even like, you cut 90%, 97% of the refrigeration off, like the power that it's using. I don't know. You could do a lot. I mean, just have the boat floating with a full tank of fuel.
Yeah, no, you could.
So I think you definitely could make that. So the cookware could probably be okay. Like you probably could be lit, and you could probably have enough food saved for 6 months.
Yeah, I was thinking like I think the island or the ship is probably the best idea, but my first thought was like some type of mountain or something that's like secluded, to where first off like it would be harder for them to attack me because they have to climb up a mountain, which they can barely walk straight. So like that'd help me out. But then also like I would have like when it comes to like I guess my Fortnite thoughts, like I'd have the high ground, so like I could like aim down and just like and just like lock in. And you know what's crazy? Can you kill zombies if they're already technically dead? What would that be considered?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I thought about that, but like, am I really killing a zombie? Normally, like, when you think about killing something,
Yeah.
it leads to it being dead. But if a zombie is already dead, did I kill it? What did I do to it?
Yeah, probably killed it.
I didn't stop its life.
Well, I mean, at some point, I had to like have another part of life. It was probably not the
Well, this
best.
part of its life was dead, though. So I
You dead? You killed a dead thing.
I
Redeaded it.
yeah, well, I would re-deaden all the zombies from the high ground, is what we would call that.
Sounds good to me.
All right. 2 weapons, 2 people.
I don't know who I'd pick for people.
Like, to me, I'm not thinking family members or friends. Like, I'm, like,
Yeah.
picking,
Like somebody that's gonna help me survive. Like I'm picking a top tier fisherman.
I'm picking David Goggins or something for, like, the motivation, the reminders, and the military like skills. And
I
then
am
I'm
not picking David Goggins.
Why not?
Just because, I mean, I don't need no motivation, bro. I just need you to fish, and I need you to start a fire or something. Like,
Well, he's just one of the few people that I know that like on the military side of things that to name. Like that's more so why I'm picking him. Like I joke around about the motivation stuff. Like who's gonna carry the most in the logs? Like it's you, bro. That's why you're here. But I pick him for the military side of things, like the combat shooting and all the stuff like that I need him to do. And then I would pick someone like you're talking about, a fisherman or a hunter. I guess if I'm in the mountains, a hunter probably. But someone who would know how to go out and kill an animal or is very skilled fishing. So I'd have my deadener for the zombies, and then I'd have my food collector. So then you're kind of just like the manager, you know? You're just like the face of the
the thing is,
organization.
bro, you're like in way more high stress situation than I am, and like I'm chilling on a cruise ship.
Yeah, your biggest stress is just that one little wire gets cut or trips or breaks, and then all your sources are like cooked. Mine is like I actually have to worry about a zombie legitimately killing me.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, you just have to worry about like starving to death.
Which again, I don't think I would if a cruise ship can hold 1,000 people. Like food for 1,000 people. I mean, obviously it's once every couple of days they refill, I'm sure. But like, I mean, the amount of food that they have that probably could go in a freezer somewhere.
Yeah.
If I could have,
Yeah, for my weapons, I think I'm gonna go ray gun from BO2 and Infinity Gauntlet.
So,
yeah.
So on top of that, so with the zombies, would you snap half of them, or would you?
Well, no, because I don't
only
know.
for humans.
I just snap all of them, but zombies. Actually, no. I would love to just Power Stone blast them, burn, just like, or like, yeah. Or if I'm almost cooked, I just rewind time and just figure out how to do it better. So that'd be my two realistic weapons: ray gun. Because I use that in BO2 Zombies, so I know it works decently on zombies. And then,
dude, we should somehow download BO2 and play zombies.
Imagine if you had an Infinity Gauntlet on that junk. Bro's sitting here rushing me. I'm just like just absolutely crazy. So unless there's like a Thor zombie with his like axe, I'm basically gonna be fine. So and Thanos was still able to snap his finger. So
yeah.
Yeah, that's my two realistic
weapons.
weapons.
You see a Wimby zombie, bro? Like
a Wimby? My gosh,
Wimby,
a 7-4 zombie?
Yeah. That'd be crazy.
Thing's about to get cut.
He would definitely get shot a lot.
Shot a lot. No, he's getting hit with the Power Stone, bro.
Boom! Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my two realistic weapons.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I don't know if my hand would fit in the Infinity Gauntlet. Like, it's too big.
I was about to say, well, if it on Iron Man, because he like...
Yeah, but that wasn't the gauntlet. That was like he did the little swap thing onto his suit. I don't have a suit, so like my hand's
she was basically...
It's just gonna be like this. I was like, is there a handle in here?
I just had the handle. It's like
I'm
it's
blasting.
like on your arm.
Like the fingers are just straight because I can't like reach them. This is like, yeah. Give me the Infinity Gauntlet.
You would definitely break your fingers once it like...
Probably for sure, yeah.
when you...
But I'd rather break my fingers than die to the zombies. So,
like I said, bro, I'm taking the easy road. I'm chilling the next 6 months.
Yeah, well, you'll have fun, and I'll just be absolutely blasting zombies.
Yeah,
with
well,
an Infinity Gauntlet.
So for me, I'm gonna be on a cruise ship or on an island. I think an island would be more, woody and have to be hard, but a cruise ship would probably be pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I'm gonna do that because I just want to be fair.
Yeah,
so
taking the easy route. Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna do an island. I'm gonna have. Yeah, when I was a kid, bro, I used to watch this guy named Deer Meat for Dinner or whatever. His name was like Rob or something.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And yeah, he would like kill deer or something and like.
And then you watch him like cut him up.
So I'd watch him.
Bro, he used to be a creep for real.
No, that is so.
Bro
awful.
would sit here and just like, it's like almost like ASMR vibes, but for bro just like cutting a deer up. I'm like, bro, this is so weird.
All right, when you put it that way, it does sound very weird. But no, I was really intrigued in learning how to skin deer or clean a fish.
Yeah.
Not like, dude, you make me sound like Dahmer or something crazy. Like, what are you doing right now?
No,
No, bro. It was
But
not,
it was just weird.
it was not like that, bro. It was like, I always thought, like, cleaning tuna was pretty cool. Like, how they took a big fish and, like, cut him up and, like, you know, for something that people could eat. So, nothing crazy. So, I'd definitely bring a guy like him.
Bro, definitely. Bro, like, bro, can you show me how to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, just sit back and chill.
Bro, that's like
Bro turns off the TV, cut the deer.
Yeah, but, like, if we were in a life or death situation right now, would you know how to clean a deer? No.
That's why I get someone else to do it, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't.
I mean, I
know
can give him
fully.
a bath, bro, but I can't like cut him up. Like, I can clean him. I can't cut him. I can't cut him.
But I would know a little bit about how to do it. Like, I wouldn't do it good because I've never done it, but I would at least watch a couple of videos on it.
I just throw him in there, skin and all, just on a massive smoker, and just hope he comes out good or something.
Skin and all?
Yeah.
But I mean,
Someone's vibing to some music.
sorry, it's like, 10 o'clock in the morning, so it's people are
Yeah.
11 o'clock in the
Something like
morning. And, right by the street. No, he's cleaned an alligator before. That was pretty cool.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, one of his like most popular videos. Like I said, I was younger, so I take him, and then I would take
Probably someone that's skilled in combat or something like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
probably like a big fighter guy, and then what am I actually bringing as a weapon?
Yeah.
Just a few types of gun, like a couple types of just different guns, I guess.
Yeah.
Give me a big shotgun, like a blow your
You don't want
shoulder
to get
off.
like boxing gloves where you could just like have fun if a zombie pulls up because he's like slower than you naturally.
Yeah.
Just give him
Yeah.
like the 1-2, boom.
Nah, give me. Well, then it's like also I want a weapon for my guy to shoot a deer at if there's a deer or a squirrel
Yeah.
or something there. So
That's what I'm
Give
saying.
him-
With mine, like that's where I was
give him
thinking
a little
like
rifle.
ray gun could easily blast a deer.
into nothing, like,
Well, like Infinity Gauntlet, you could just power punch it.
and you would break every bone in his body, and you would have
Yeah, and then all the meat would come out, and then you just hope you catch it in a bag.
just hit a deer, the bones fly away, the meat just stays there and just falls to the ground.
I would just snap his bones and skin out of existence, and then I just have a bag going under there.
Hey, bud, stand right here for me.
Sit right here,
Just-
sit right-
just we got dinner.
We're good.
That's crazy. Anyways, awesome.
Valid. Yeah, mine would be somewhere in the mountains. We'll just say.
But you're not scared of stuff in the mountains, bro.
I got David Goggins. I got a fisher and a hunter, and I got an Infinity Gauntlet. You think I'm scared of whatever's in the mountains?
Yes.
They're scared of me. Once I figure out how to fit my hand in that thing right, they're done. Like it's over. There's no let a lion or a tiger or a bear, oh my, pull up on me. I don't just getting blasted out of existence. Like I'll hold the ray gun in my Infinity Gauntlet hand, like double power. But yeah, I would go somewhere in the mountains. I would have my two realistic weapons would be ray gun and Infinity Gauntlet, and then my two people would be David Goggins, and then someone who is very
Gordon
skilled
Ramsay. Sorry.
That would actually be a good one. Because David Goggins could shoot a deer, actually. So David Goggins and then some chef I'm just doing nothing, bro. Just vibing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if a zombie gets close, you just snap.
Restart. Snap burst through his Bible off the table. It's like, where's your gauntlet?
I mean, we'll rewind time here.
Yeah, well, what would y'all do? What would y'all's realistic weapons be? All the things. Where would y'all go? There's probably some other places that we're not thinking about off the top of our head that would be good spots. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Dog, I hope it works because we're too late and do it now.
What?
I just need to do like a little
Oh, yeah, check. 1, 2, just no sound.
cooked.
Valid. Well, yeah, we're in James 5, James 5. Someone's not happy outside. Sorry, don't know if y'all can hear that. Sorry for our squirrel. Someone's just like, there's a squirrel outside. No, I'm kidding. Someone was saying something outside, and it was loud. Sounded like they were coming into our house, actually. It was a little confusing. But, James 5, CSB translation. Follow along if you want to. And, yeah, we're going to have fun. We're going to break it down, talk about it. Last chapter in James. So,
Anyway.
all right. Starting in verse 1. Sorry. Come now, you rich people, Weep and wail over the miseries that are coming on you. Your wealth has rotted and your clothes are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver are corroded, and their corrosion will be a witness against you and will eat your flesh like fire. That's descriptive. You have stored up treasure in the last days. Look, the pay that you withheld from the workers who mowed your field cries out, and the outcry of the harvesters has reached the ears of the Lord of armies. You have lived luxuriously on earth and have indulged yourselves. You have fattened your hearts in a day of slaughter. You have condemned, you have murdered the righteous who does not resist you. Yeah. You know, it's kind of funny how, like, they knew what they were doing with the little, like, headings. Warning to the rich. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. A little, like, descriptive, too. Like, your clothes are moth-eaten. Your corrosion will be a witness against you, and it will eat your flesh like fires. Oh, my goodness, bro. Like, getting a little, like... It's almost like more descriptive than my like blast the deer and like the meatball salad. It's like it's a little scary there.
That's funny, yeah.
Sorry.
Goodness gracious, man.
I know, bro. My junk's like. All right. I'm good now. Yeah, I think it kind of shows this problem. I like the back half of verse 3 where it says, "You have stored up treasure in the last days." Like, I think it's showing that's the problem. This is where their treasure was found. It was in literal treasure, money, wealth, finances. And like that verse that I talked about last video or whatever in Proverbs, like wherever your treasure is, there your heart will be also. And I think that's the problem ultimately with this warning is like, hey guys, your treasure is in literal treasure and your heart is here. And that's the problem. That's why it's given a warning, because it's not kind of what you were talking about earlier when we were looking at this. Is like there's not just a generalized problem with having wealth. God is not against you being prosperous financially. Like, you don't have to be poor to be a Christian. That's not how that works. But the problem is, it says you've stored up treasure in the last days. And it's not spiritually. Like, their treasure, where their heart's at, is in their finances. And that's why he's given this challenge. Weep and wail over the miseries that are coming for you. Like, your wealth has rotted. Your clothes are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver are corroded. Like, all this stuff that you're putting your hope and your trust and everything in that you're counting this as your treasure, it's all going to fade away. And it's not actually where your heart should be focused on. So, yeah, I think that's interesting.
Yeah, for me, I mean, it's basically all the things you said, and I think when you look at it, you stored up treasures in the last days, and it's like, you know, we're storing up money, all these things, and again, I don't think having money is a problem, right? I don't think Tim Tebow being rich.
Well, wait, unless you're not tithing.
Oh my gosh.
Because then you will burn. So
we're going to drop our Cash App, and I'm just kidding.
sorry.
No, but like, you know,
it was a perfect opportunity. You kind of gave me you gave me an alley. I had to dunk it.
I get it, bro.
All right. Yep.
But think about like Tim Tebow. It's like, yeah, I mean, he has money.
He does, yeah.
Probably never have to worry about another day in his life of money. But also, it's like he has all these different foundations. He gives all this money to certain places. And again, I don't know what he does. I don't necessarily pocket watch him. I have no clue.
But it seems like he doesn't put all of his hope and his trust in that.
And it seems like he gives, like it seems like he offers things to people.
Like he tithes.
Because he's not going to burn.
Yeah.
You know? And, you know, oh, well, you know, you have all these things and, you know, you don't pay your people properly and this and that. And then also it's like, you have lived luxuriously on earth.
Yeah, it seems like they're not stewarding what God has blessed them with. Like a guy like Tim Tebow, he allows money to be a vessel to do the things he wants to do for the kingdom.
Yes.
These people are allowing money to be a vessel to get more money and to cheat people out. Like it says, you're not paying these people when they're doing stuff. Like, and that last part where it says you've murdered the righteous, you've condemned. Like, they're using their money as almost this pedestal vibe instead of using it for the kingdom, which is something that is good.
And again, so like one of the best ways that we probably see money used is probably how I would think Tim uses his money.
Yeah, that's a good like worldly person.
But also, it's like, you know, there's so many rich people that don't know who Jesus is. And ultimately, like you've seen or even like read throughout Scripture, like money is going to lead to just unhappiness. Like you know, once you get to this status, you're going to have to get to this next status. I think your dad told me that. I was like, yeah, bro, when I was young, you know, I thought I wanted to get to this. And it's like, well, once I got to this, it's like, well,
I want to get more.
I want to get to this. And it's like, well, once I got to this, and it's like, well, I see how much this is. And it's like, there's so much of a status that, you know, once you make $100,000, well, you're still broke to people that make $1 million. And once you make $1 million, you're still broke to people that make $20 million.
Yeah.
And so the thing is, like, that's something that you're going to always chase and never end.
Yeah, and it's that problem when you're finding your satisfaction in something like that.
And it's like, you know, living luxurious on earth. Like, I guarantee you Tim Tebow has a nice house. I guarantee you Tim Tebow has, you know, blessed his family. But also it's like he's been able to live luxurious. But again, he's done a lot for the kingdom of God. And so God has blessed him through that.
But the heart posture he has is what actually he sees as luxury is everything he's allowed to do with his money for the kingdom. And that's what I think it's showing. It's like when he's saying that these people have lived luxuriously, he's talking about from the financial aspect solely.
Yeah.
If you ask Tim Tebow, name some luxuries in your life.
I guarantee you money would be probably way down the list.
Money would be the thing that may have funded all these luxuries, but none of the luxuries are going to be things that are strictly financial. Like, I promise you he's not going to say, man, this luxury is just like this Lambo I bought.
Yeah.
No, he's going to be like, bro, it's the fact that I have
wife, kids, beautiful things.
Kids. It's the fact that I had this money not to do all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But to run my foundation that I do that helps all these people, to fight against human trafficking, that's one of the biggest things he does, and to make people feel seen and loved and show them who Jesus is. Like,
but even like
that's his stuff.
He works on SEC Network, right?
Yeah.
I guarantee you he does not know the money he makes from SEC Network.
No.
There's no way he does. Then it's like, well, what was he doing? It's like, well, how many people know who Tim Tebow is? How many people like follow Jesus because Tim Tebow planted a seed in their heart? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's a luxury in life. Leading people to Jesus is a luxury. And honestly, if you like fatten your heart is what it said. Like you fatten your heart in days of slaughter, like, dude, that's all in this life.
Yeah, well,
like,
I mean, I can even speak to Tim Tebow because I went to a money conference that I didn't know was a money conference, and there was this thing called Life Surge that me and Troy went to.
I went with you.
We went to the classes. My fault.
I was literally there.
My fault. I was thinking about the classes we went to. Sorry. No, yeah. So me, you, and we saw Tim speak. Tim was the last one to speak. And so when it comes to Tim,
bro.
Yes, all these other people, finances. When Tim speaks at a conference about finances, what do he talk about the whole time? Jesus. That was it. No push for wealth, no push for whatever. And so even Tim, not that Tim is just this idolized person to look up to. Like, he's a great guy. It's just an easy guy to bring up because he does it right. You see where his heart is. And when he came to a conference that was about how to leverage your finances in the right biblical way, he didn't even talk about that.
Yeah.
He said, money's good, this is this, but if your heart's not right. He was almost talking about what the problem is with most rich people in that. And so, yeah, I think it's ultimately a heart problem, which we can hit on this real quick and hop to the next if we want. But like what we talked about too, the back half of 5, you fatten your hearts in a day of slaughter.
Yeah.
And it shows it as a heart problem. Like, so, another way to explain this is a calf, is normally fattened before it gets killed, right? And in the same way, it's saying you have fattened your hearts before the day of slaughter. And so, like, they are feeding their hearts this money. And it's like whatever you're feeding your heart is what you're preparing for in these days. And they were feeding their hearts this greed, this idolatry, this selfishness, this distorted view of people, like 15 different things that was the problem. Ultimately, it was they were finding their satisfaction and their desire and their all in money. And it was fattening them for the day of slaughter. Because at some point, Jesus is going to come back. Yeah. And he's saying, like, not that he's going to just boom, boom, slaughter us, right? But, like, they're not preparing themselves for what it's going to look like when he returns.
Yeah, because money is not going to be in, like, that's not going to,
No, you can't take that jump to heaven.
Money's not going to be a thing. Like, I know we joked about my car that just updated last night. Like, that's not going to be with me.
No.
I mean, like, none of the things that we have on this earth, my bank account's not going with me. My savings ain't going with me. My checking account ain't going with me. My investment account ain't going with me. Like, none of that goes. And again, like, it's not wrong to have money. It's not wrong to invest. It's not wrong to plan for your future. It's not wrong for any of that. But if that is what your hope is found in, is where it's a struggle. That's where it's going to be a problem. And that's what the warning is against this.
Yeah. Don't fatten your heart for slaughter like they feed a cow to fatten it before they kill it.
Yeah.
Like, stay healthy and
Yeah.
not. This is not talking about physically. This is talking about spiritually. Make sure the things you're feeding your heart and the desires that you have are aligned with what God wants for your life, and you're
Yeah.
not allowing something like money or anything else in your life to take His place.
Awesome.
Because if you are, it's like you're fattening a calf for slaughter.
Yeah. And yeah, I agree with that. So let's continue reading. Waiting for the Lord, verse 7. Therefore, brothers and sisters, be patient until the Lord's coming. See how the farmer waits for the precious fruits of the earth and is patient with it until it receives the early and the late rains. You also must be patient. Strengthen your hearts, because the Lord's coming is near. Never mind, yeah. Brothers and sisters, do not complain about one another, so that you will not be judged. Look, the judge stands at the door. Brothers and sisters, take the prophets who spoke in the Lord's name as an example of suffering and patience. See, we count as blessed those who have endured. You have heard of Job's endurance and seen the outcome that the Lord brought about. The Lord is compassionate and merciful. So, I mean, just speaking of this, just looking at it blatantly, like, I'm gonna probably just harp on the verse 10 and below, and I'll let you do the rest of it. But, you know, the quick story of Job, if you've never read the Bible, you don't know anything about Job. Basically, Job was this great man of God, and Job was tested. Job had everything, all he wanted, all he needed, perfect life. Good, well, not perfect life, but good life.
Ideal life, yeah.
And all of a sudden, all these tragedies, all these sadnesses, lost his family, all the things, right? His cattle, all the things. And then, all of a sudden, you know, it's like he's being tested to show that he's faithful to God.
Yeah.
Basically, all the things get lost. Then he kind of goes to a point where he's like, okay, well, he has all these things in his head telling him, well, curse God, go without God, be away from God, all these things.
And literal people telling him that, too.
Yeah, I was getting to that, too. And he had also had people in his ear telling him, like, man, well, God did this to you, God let this happen, curse God, God's not good for you, all these things. But he's like, no, bro. Like, he stayed faithful. He did exactly what God said he would do.
Mm-hmm.
He persevered, and he waited for God to bless him again. And ultimately, God blessed him and blessed him with more.
Yeah, what was it? 3 times fold, 10 times fold? I don't know.
Something.
Yeah. He got restored times 10 or whatever, all the stuff he had before.
Yeah. Or even like another prophet, Jeremiah, known as Weeping Jeremiah. Like, he was telling people, like, hey, we are doing this wrong. This is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
This is bad. And, like, obviously, when you're telling people that they're doing something wrong, they're not going to want to listen to you.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to be told they're doing wrong. Right? Like, bro would be they'd be worshiping Jesus and they'd walk out, and there they are worshiping idols.
Yeah.
Or they would be crucifying children. Like, what are we doing? Like, that's not what God is asking you to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, for him, it's like, he said all these things. He told these things. Like, he prophesied over things that were going to happen. That ultimately did happen. And he had to wake up pretty much every day with the fear of dying, like being killed. Because, you know, you're doing things that are out of the norm for people. And so, ultimately, like, he was killed. But everything he said, all the stuff, and it's like, you know, for his life, it's like, okay, well, that was pretty sad. But like, he did exactly what God wanted him to do.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, I mean, he did his call and waited on the Lord, and the Lord blessed him ultimately. However that went. But
yeah, I mean, I think it goes back to, so if y'all have watched anything more than just this video when it comes to James, you'll remember it was either chapter 1 or chapter 2. I don't fully remember now because we've talked about this stuff so much. But we talked about endurance and there being a reward for endurance.
yeah,
And that's, at least specifically with Job, even with Jeremiah, if the only thing that he got rewarded was the fact that he has about 50 chapters in the most important book in the world and that he has salvation, then that's enough. But when you see for Job, his endurance produced tenfold what he had before.
yeah,
And so I think it just shows that, like, yet again, like we talked about in, I think it was James 2, I feel like, endurance produces a reward if you are faithful. And why? Well, because we serve a compassionate and merciful God. Two really good, really comforting describing words if it's someone you're going to serve for the rest of your life and for all eternity.
yeah.
Could have used a lot of words there. Merciful and compassionate. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, there's not a ton else there when it comes to, I mean, the whole theme is just waiting on the Lord, having patience for his return, but also I think even for the things that he's going to do in our life right now when we want to be in certain seasons that we're not yet. Just being patient, and the reason it brings up the Job story, I think, is because it shows, hey, there's a reward for the patience that you have waiting on him. Whether that's for him to return, or whether that's for him to bless you in a season of ministry, or a season of your career, or in college, or anything in life, there is a reward for faithful endurance.
Yep.
And as we see with Job, he ended up with, like I said, I don't remember that number, 5, 10, 6, 7 times. What do you have before?
This
Sorry.
guy.
Sorry. But, yeah.
Yeah, so, basically, that's what I would, say as well.
Yeah, so there's a reward for your patience. And it's not useless to sit there and wait. Faithfulness produces endurance and produces a reward in the end.
Yeah. Well, let's move on. Truthful speech, verse 12. Above all, brothers and sisters, do not swear either by heaven or by earth or with any other oath, but let your yes mean yes and your no mean no, so that you won't fall under judgment. So, obviously, there's the clear yes, let your yes be yes. Don't be putting stuff on God, on my mama, on bro and them, whatever you want to say.
Pronoun.
But also, there's just a little commentary, and it's above all, they were not to deny their Lord in the face of persecution, and when asked whether they were Christians by those who would persecute them, James' readers were not to swear to God, to heaven, or to earth using oaths to support their claims. Rather, when interrogated, they were simply and sincerely to say yes or no if they followed Jesus.
Yeah.
And
what
so,
I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. It just shows, bro, your yes should be enough, your no should be enough. Why do you have to swear on something or promise on this or say on that? You should be, I think it also goes to, you should be someone full of integrity and consistency in your life where I don't have to super duper extra swear on something to know that I'm going to do it. If I say yes, if Hayden says yes to it, it should mean Hayden's going to do it, or Hayden's going to follow through on it. If Zach says yes or no to it, it should mean one of those things, and that should be consistent in your life. So I think even on that practical sense of you should just be able to say yes or no. You shouldn't be so inconsistent with your yeses and your nos that for someone to be confident you're going to do something, they have to bro, swear on it. Are you really going to do it?
On God, bro? Are you going to do that on God? Say on God,
it's bro, have I really been that inconsistent in my life with the way that I live to where most of the time I say yes, I don't live up to it. Now you have to ask me to swear on God or by heaven or on my dead cousin or something crazy to where you're going to believe I'm going to do it or that I'm telling the truth. Yes should mean yes, no should mean no.
But, if you think about that, where was that the biggest factor in our life? It's bro, I would say on God probably 100 times a day at high school or in middle school. I thought
because they wouldn't think I'm telling the truth.
That's what I'm saying. But it's no, bro. As a man of God, there's no reason for that. Your yes is yes. Yes, I follow Jesus. Yes, I'm going to do whatever you need. No.
Yeah, I think you should live a life where yes means yes always and no means no. And you shouldn't be inconsistent enough to where you have to swear on things to make people believe what you're saying.
Yeah.
So, because then that would show that you have lied multiple times and been inconsistent in the way that you have been overpromising and under-delivering to the point to where they need extra confirmation you're going to do something or not do it. So,
yeah, I think that's all important.
Yeah. All right. Effective prayer, verse 13. Let's start here. Is anyone among you suffering? He should pray. Is anyone cheerful? He should sing praises. Is anyone among you sick? He should call for the elders of the church, and they are to pray over him, anointing him with oil in the name of the Lord. The prayer of faith will save the sick person, and the Lord will raise him up. If he has committed sins, he will be forgiven. Therefore, confess your sins to one another, and pray for one another, so that you may be healed. The prayer of a righteous person is very powerful in its effect. Elijah was a human being as we are, and he prayed earnestly that it would not rain. And for 3 years and 6 months, it did not rain on the land. Then he prayed again, and the sky gave rain, and the land produced its fruit. My brothers and sisters, if any among you strays from the truth, and someone turns him back, let that person know that whoever turns a sinner from the error of his way will save his soul from death and cover a multitude of sins.
Yeah. I would just like to, just give a very big overview of it, and I'll let you dive deeper into it if you'd like.
Yeah.
But I think basically it's effective prayer, if you're, suffering, it's like the first thing, I think we all do is good or like hit our knees and pray.
Yeah, that's what
But
it's
it's like,
saying we
well,
should do.
but it's like, what happens when your life is just breezy?
Sing praises.
I
That's
know,
what
but
it
like, what do
says.
we usually do though? Like, we don't usually hit our knees to pray. Like, we don't
No, we
usually.
get complacent.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so I think this is like the practical side of this is like, if any among you are suffering, like, hit your knees.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you are happy and everything is going good, like, bro, hit your knees still.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's a blessing, and it's like, you are the church, and it's like, okay, well, you have some people that are like this in church, and it's like, okay, well, they might be going through stuff, they might just be chilling. But then you have the people that are on their knees, like, bawling their face out, and it's like, okay, well, they're probably going through some stuff. And it's also like, what if there's people that are just genuinely joyful for God? Like, the grace that
Singing
He's given.
praises.
It's like we're singing praises. So, like, the encouragement is this is like, any moment you're going through, any attitude you're feeling, like, God should still be the top thing. If you're sad, pray. If you're happy, sing praises. If you're upset, pray. If you're over the moon right now, like, sing praise. Like, if this big thing happened, like, thank you, God. Like, all these things, because at the end of the day, like, everything is given by God. And then two, going down a little bit more, you know, confess your sins to one another, pray for one another. Like, you can't do any of this alone.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm just going to brief over you, and you got it. Nothing you can do alone. Like, dude, you shouldn't be. If you're sad, like, you probably shouldn't be alone in the first place. But also, it's like in your prayer, like, yes, that is a prayer that probably is alone. But also, it's like bring people around you that can pray for you about the situation.
Yeah.
If you're joyful, like, why are you joyful? Bring people into that and let them feel the joy too. And also, like, prayer is powerful. And again, I'll let you touch on this more. Like, there's prayer that has saved people's lives. There's prayer that has changed people's lives. There's prayer that has done multitudes of things for people in this world. And I think there's a confidence about prayer that you should have, because again, like, you have to know God can do it all.
Yeah.
And then it's like, just going all the way back down to the end, or even let's come back to Elijah real quick. He prayed for 3 years and 6 months. That's 3.5 years. That would not rain. Right, and then it didn't. And then he prayed again, and finally it rained. So that's, the power of prayer in that. And it's like, well, who is Elijah? I mean, it's like he's a guy like us.
Yeah.
He's not, on a throne. He's not doing nothing crazy. He is literally a guy just like me and you. And then ultimately, like, going to the end, my brothers and sisters, if any among you stray from the truth, how often do we stray from the truth? How often do we see people stray from the truth? Not necessarily us, but how often do we see it?
Yeah, a lot.
Right? It's so easy, and it's like, well, one of the biggest reasons is because they don't have people around them to keep them in the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And so again, like, going back to that, like, you need people around you to keep you where you're at. And then, ultimately, as a follower of Jesus, your goal should be to bring those people back. Love them, encourage them, and try to bring them back.
Yeah, it says you'd save their soul from death.
And it's like, ultimately, like, once your soul is saved, right, the most enjoyment you can get is bringing somebody else into Christianity. Not because it makes you feel great, but it's like, that they have a salvation.
Yeah.
Like, you ask somebody to come to church, and it's like this great feeling for yourself. And, like, yeah, I mean, of course, you probably put some, like, stuff like, okay, well, I did that, but it's like God allowed that to happen as well.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, bro, I'll let you kind of handle the things you want to hit on real quick. And
Yeah, I mean, obviously you hit all the broad overview. I think it just kind of shows, like, there's not a season of your life that should not involve prayer. There's not a circumstance or a situation or anything that you could ever go through in life that should not lead you to either crying out to God for help or crying out to God singing praises because of his goodness. There's no season or situation of life where you should disconnect yourself from unlimited access to conversation with the Father. And I think that's what ultimately this is showing, because the heading is effective prayer. Well, why should I not disconnect myself from the Father? Why should I talk to him when things are going bad? And why should I talk to him when things are going good? Because prayer is effective. Because he listens. And it shows that with Elijah. 3.5 years, bro, I prayed there wasn't going to be no rain, and it didn't rain. I prayed the next day it's going to rain, it rains. Man, it's almost like this guy hears me. And not only that he hears me, but it's that he listens enough to where he'll give an answer back. And so I think, to me, that's like the biggest thing that I see is, like, prayer is powerful, prayer is necessary, prayer is effective, and there's not a season of your life that it should not include prayer or praises. And then verse 15 gets a little confusing. Me and Zach have looked into this. We called our pastor talking about this today. It's confusing because it says these kind of absolute type words. It says will, right? So it says the prayer of faith will save the sick person. The Lord will raise him up. If he's committed any sins, he will be forgiven. And so that can give this idea that if I pray for someone who's sick, they will be healed.
Yeah.
If I pray for someone who is sick, the Lord will raise them up. And we looked into this a ton. We looked at some different commentaries. Like I said, we called our pastor. And it's a little confusing. Because I know for me, like, there have been times in my life where I have seen this, and it seems like that's exactly what James is saying. Like, I have prayed for someone who is sick, like my stepdad, like, and he should have been dead, and he's not. And I have seen the name of Jesus and the power of prayer work better than medicine could. Like, I've seen really cool things like that. But I also know people who have prayed earnestly, and they haven't got the same result.
Right.
And then, so if they look at this verse, they're like, well, is the Bible lying?
Yeah.
Or, like, what does that mean? And so I think, it goes on those two sides. It's like, all right, is it because Western Christianity is so boiled down and simplistic and not deep to where we don't ever really pray earnestly, or it's rare that we do? Maybe. Or is James talking about more than just physical healing? Maybe. Overall, like we said, me and Zach lead with honesty and transparency. We don't know the answer.
Right.
Like, because we've seen, like I said, I've seen in my life, to me, the only two times I think I've genuinely, legitimately prayed earnestly, I have got that answer in a blessing to me. And so I've seen this verse seem like it's exactly what James is saying. Someone else who has prayed earnestly and not received that would read this verse differently.
Yeah.
So overall, though, the broad sense is, and what I think we should do, and I think the challenge that this verse presents us with is, no matter what that means, we should pray earnestly.
Yeah.
And leave it into God's hands. Like, I don't know if this is saying that if you pray earnestly that 100, well, I know it's not, honestly, because I've seen it not happen. But we should not pray earnestly because of that. Right? It's saying that earnest prayers bring about healing. And so what we should do is, if you have someone in your life who's sick, pray earnestly. And leave it into God's hands.
Yeah.
Because it's saying that stuff is effective. It's saying that the prayer of a righteous person is very powerful in its effect. And so why would you not tap into that opportunity with one-on-one conversation with the Father just because you think it may not work?
Yeah.
So, well, I know he hears me, I know he listens to me, and I know he answers. Whether that's going to be a yes or a no is up to him.
Yeah.
But, boy, you best believe I'm going to yap to him all I can to hope it's a yes.
Yeah.
And I think we see this cool thing, too, kind of how you were talking about. Confess your sins to one another. Pray for one another so that you may be healed. There's this beautiful power in confession and prayer that leads to healing. And so if you're struggling with sin, if you are struggling with any type of addiction to anything, if you just have a sin problem, aka everyone has a sin problem. So if you're like everyone else in the whole world, well, when you struggle with those sins and when you're fighting them, James is saying that if you want to be healed, you have to do two things. Confess it and then pray about it.
Yeah.
Pray for one another. Find someone to talk to about it that will pray for you, and that's what brings about the healing from that. So I also think that's just really, really cool in the sense of, like, freedom comes from confession, and freedom comes from having someone who knows what you're going through and what you're struggling with and talking to God about it.
Yeah.
And then also you talking to God about it. But yeah, there's a ton there. Like you kind of said, I think the broad overview is that prayer is important. We can't live this life alone. We're not called to live this life alone. Like when Jesus started his ministry, the first thing he did was go and find people to do it with. And so to challenge you, whoever it is that's watching, you can't do it alone. And if you're struggling with sin and you're wondering why can't I get over this? Well, have you told anyone about it?
Yeah.
Have you talked to God about it? James says if you confess your sins and you pray, it gives you the opportunity to be healed from it.
Yeah.
And so, I think just broadly, prayer is powerful. Prayer is effective. There is a God out there that listens to you and will provide an answer. And whether that's a yes or a no, we can trust his character on why he does that.
Yeah.
But it does say that prayer is powerful. And so in seasons and situations of life where you need a miracle, you can talk to the one who can provide it. And in seasons and situations of life that are maybe more boring and more chill and more good, you can praise the one that allowed that to happen too. So,
yeah, I agree completely. So
yeah, ton of stuff there.
And just to end on that, like prayer is such a life changer. And honestly,
Yeah.
again, because prayer and being in prayer shows dependency on God. It allows you to have that dependency on God.
Yeah, it shows where your heart posture is at.
And also, like it is, there is that reality that okay, well maybe your prayer isn't answered how you would expect it to be answered.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe somebody didn't get saved how you would thought they would have been. Maybe all these negative things, but it's like, man, if that's going to happen no matter what. Like there is tragedy in the world. That is just the reality of what it is and the brokenness of the world.
Yeah.
Right? But ultimately, it's like, man, well, I can still depend on God for prayer. Because, like, you might lose this, but also it's like, well, God has blessed you this way. And staying strong in prayer is probably one of the most growth-building, firm foundation things you can do.
Yeah.
Because, yes, you need to read your Bible, and yes, you need to listen, and yes, you need to worship, and all the things, but it's like, if you're not talking to God, like, all of them go hand in hand, like, you have to do all three of them. But it's like, prayer is probably one of the most easiest things to do. Because it's not like
talking and listening.
Because it's not like okay, well, I have to like do this. I gotta go get a shower and pretty up and smell good. Put some fresh ones on or fresh day, like whatever you want to say. Like, nah, bro. It's like you literally can just be talking to God at any moment in any attitude. You can be crying, you can be upset, you can be mad, you can be furious, you can be happy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like that is something that is always allowed.
Yeah, and like I've seen prayer just personally. Hayden, like, I'd encourage you to pray because I've seen it work. Like, I have seen, like I said, my stepdad, who should be dead, when the doctors could not explain why he magically got better. I call that magic Jesus, and I call the way that it worked me talking to him.
Right.
I have seen my dad and my sister, all the stuff with that. And I've prayed for people where it makes no sense why they would meet the King of the Universe and they somehow end up meeting him. I've prayed, and this is not a Hayden thing of like my prayers are just unique. Like there are so many people that have these stories.
Yeah.
But there's something about talking to God, yet again, like we talked about before, the one who can actually do something about your situation, whether that's a good situation or a bad situation, where it brings in this alternate factor that from a worldly perspective can't be explained. Where things should be one way, but there's something about this conversation you're having that, to me, not believing in Jesus seems like you're talking to a wall or a floor. But to you, because you know who he really is, you're actually talking to the God of this universe. And somehow that brings in this factor that can't really be accounted for by people that don't believe.
Yeah.
And it changes situations. And I can't promise it'll always change your situation. I can't promise that you'll always get the yes when you want it, or that he'll always pull through in the way you desire him to. But I can promise that if he doesn't, he's going to use it for good.
Yeah.
But I also can promise that there are times he's going to pull through in a crazy, miraculous way.
Yeah.
And that's because prayer is effective. And that's what James is trying to get at. This stuff works because you're talking to someone who holds the whole fabric of the universe together just in his hand. And so that's why it's powerful. That's why it's effective. Me and Zach have seen it play out in that way in our own lives. We've seen things not be answered.
Yeah. I've seen it both ways. I've seen it
both
always.
ways. We've seen things not be answered. We've seen things be answered. We've seen everything in between. But ultimately, it's effective and it works, and he is worth talking to, not because he always answers yes, but because he loves us and is willing to listen, no matter what the answer is going to be.
And ultimately, like, his love and compassion never change for us.
No, it says he's a compassionate and
merciful God.
Yeah.
And that's something that we can hold on to because it is written in Scripture.
Whether he answers yes or no, we can trust it. And that's why I say that you can trust his character whether he says yes or no.
And because his yes or no is ultimately way bigger than your yes or no, or your thought of what it could be.
And there's a lot more thought about why he said no than why you would think.
Because realistically, when I've seen a no, it's like, okay, well, I've seen 20 more people that I didn't know you really even knew who Jesus was come to know Jesus or talk about Jesus more.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I don't know, like, it's weird because, like, think of tragedy, and it's like, okay, well, COVID was a big time that we could talk about this.
Yeah.
It's like, I've had a friend that, pastoring COVID, and it's like, well, why would that happen? Right? Because I know people earnestly prayed for him. Like his father and mother followed Jesus, like all the things, and he had people around him that followed Jesus. And it's like, well, why did he die? But Thomas didn't. And it's like,
Yeah.
I don't think the prayers were different. Right? I think we seen in Thomas, like, okay, well, multiple people in the church were praying for him. Multiple people come to know his story, and it's like, okay, well, God answers, God works.
Yeah.
But also in this one, it's like, okay, well, God didn't answer this one. But ultimately, like, I seen people that I didn't even really know follow Jesus. Like, okay, well, they're praying, they're talking to God. They're starting to go to dependency on God.
Yeah.
And so, like, yes, I do want to be conscious and heartful towards the people that have had those negative experiences,
Mm-hmm.
right, through trials and all the things. But also, I want to say that, again, God is described as merciful and
Yeah.
compassionate. And you can be confident of that.
Mm-hmm.
Because either way, even though on this world we don't get it, but in heaven, I think we will ultimately get it. So
Yeah, he's always going to use it for good,
Right.
no matter what. Like,
for the betterment of his kingdom.
yes, and that's for, like, I believe that the reason Mr. Thomas is still alive is because that's a story, and that's a testimony. I believe that the reason your circumstance that you're talking about didn't work out as well is because now that they have to talk about faithfulness even when something bad has happened, and that's going to be able to relate to people, right?
Yep.
And, like, for me, bro, like, if COVID didn't happen, I wouldn't have really ran into the King of the Universe. And so, talk about a terrible circumstance. You know how many people died from COVID? Like, terrible stuff. And if that wouldn't have happened in ninth grade and all those, for me, and all those things wouldn't have played out the way they did, I wouldn't be anywhere where I'm at today. And so
Right.
that just shows, like, God can use terrible, absolutely outlandishly bad situations for good. Because he cannot help but see his people hurting and broken and not either fix the situation or use the bad thing that's crumbled to pieces and pick up the pieces and put it together in a different way to make it look good and to bring something good about it. So,
Yeah, awesome.
yeah.
Well, that's James 5 for you. We just went through the whole book of
Cinco.
James. Hope you guys really enjoyed this. We are still trying to determine what we're going to do next.
Yeah, we're either going to be in, like, a book of the Bible or go back to strictly topics. We don't really know. We're going to pray about it, think about it, look at it, and see.
Yeah.
So, if y'all have any ideas, throw them out there.
So we hope you enjoyed this. We hope that this was something that was beneficial for you. It was definitely beneficial for us.
Yeah.
Our prayer is that you got something from this. If it was one thing or two things or 1,000 things, our prayer is that you also have learned the importance of maybe being in the Bible a little bit more because the things you didn't know was in there.
Yeah, a lot of cool wisdom in it and a lot of practical things that are really simple
Yeah.
that you can apply to your life.
We also hope that you guys have really thought and checked your heart about tithing or burning.
I was just about to bring that up. I thought that was kind of the main takeaway overall from James is that if you don't tithe, you will go to hell.
Anyway.
I can say it seriously for a little bit and then I just can't, obviously. It's like I try and, yeah.
Anyways, guys, well, that is it for this one. We really love you and appreciate you. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next one.
Peace out, Rainbow Trout.